in the early 1930s, Prohibition lost support nationwide because of that Great Depression, but Utah's path was more complicated.
Now, Utah didn't just follow the rest of the country, it actually helped shape the outcome, bringing one of the most controversial eras in American history to an end. Jim Spiewak has that story of Utah's surprising role in ending Prohibition.
Amazing America 250 is sponsored by Balance of Nature.
This is where the magic starts.
This is magic starts.
The Fisher family has been brewing beer in Utah going back to the turn of the 20th century. It started with Tom Ramundi's great-great-grandfather, Albert Fisher, who immigrated from Germany.
Started brewing with another guy at Salt Lake Brewing Company initially, and then a few years later he went on his own in 1884 and started Fisher Beer.
At its peak, Albert was brewing 100,000 barrels a year and turned Fisher into the largest brewery in Utah. Then Prohibition took it all away.
I think Albert Fisher actually lost his mind. He passed away 6 months after Prohibition happened.
Brian Cannon is a history professor at Brigham Young University that specializes in the Prohibition period at a time when alcohol was illegal, but it was still everywhere. Jails quickly filled up, and it was often unclear who would enforce Prohibition violations.
If you capture this big shipment that's coming in on a railroad car or something like that, is that federal because it's interstate commerce? Is it local?
Prohibition had wide support from the church, and discussions to end Prohibition surfaced throughout the 1920s, but it didn't gain significant traction until the Great Depression.
But both parties recognized that something's got to change.
With President Franklin D. Roosevelt calling for the end of Prohibition, Congress passed the 21st Amendment in the summer of 1933, and Utah's governor called a special session to debate ratifying.
It would bring lots of attention to Utah. It might help Utah's national image.
To ratify an amendment, 4/5 of the states, or 36 of them, need to approve. Utah, known for being strict on alcohol, knew other states were rushing to ratify.
Why was it a race to be the 36?
It's just the honor that comes. I mean, there's no honor that comes from being 35th or 34th. I mean, you don't get any recognition.
On December 5th, 1933, Utah overwhelmingly voted to ratify and was the 36th and deciding state ending Prohibition.
What did Utah get out of repealing Prohibition?
So
why did they want to do it?
So they wanted to do it for economic recovery and to clean out our jails.
The Utah legislature quickly created the Department of Alcohol Beverage Control to license and regulate. Utah is one of 17 control states. The state oversees everything from purchasing to distribution.
I think with anything, there are pros and cons. And in Utah, we have seen a lot of benefits from it. In particular, the amount of money that gets returned back to state and local communities.
Amazing America 250 is sponsored by Balance of Nature, the phytonutrition company.
Now, there were decisions among the church leadership, but the overwhelming church position was to keep Prohibition in place. But the church president made it clear there would be no punishment or retaliation for lawmakers to vote the way they saw fit.
Well, you can find Jim's more in-depth look into Utah's role in the political and religious back and forth on Prohibition. We have it on our YouTube page.